prehistoric practice. How do we take this practice and incorporate it into the contemporary world? I mean, there you are in New York City with sirens blaring and gazillions of people, and many people, again, who are unfamiliar with the practice would think you'd have to be somewhere remote and peaceful. How do you take this ancient Eastern practice and bring it to the modern Western world and make it work?
You know, I think that probably the most important role of a yoga teacher is to be a translator, to be able to take a philosophy, a set of practices that are ancient and have a language really of their own, and to relate that to the modern era. And all that really takes is an understanding that what is being addressed are universal truths, truths that are unchanging from time to time, and to see that people really of every age have the same essential questions on their mind. Where did I come from? Where am I going? What am I supposed to do while I'm here? Where will I go when I die? All these questions are addressed in the yoga philosophy, and we receive insights during the practice that help give us clarity and the ability to understand our place in the universe and our role in a modern culture and society as well.
It seems, though, that in the translation from East to West, there are schools, or certainly examples of yoga in this country, that ignore the spiritual and philosophical aspects and focus only on the physical postures. Can you comment on that?
Well, yes, I do think that that's true, that that does happen. In fact, that was probably the essential driving force for the creation of a form of yoga that indeed stresses the spiritual aspects and the what we feel is the essence of the yoga practice. The physical postures, I think, are an entry place for most people in modern times. We're all interested in looking good and feeling well and being fit, and it's sort of the bait. I think that the depth of the teachings, though, are it is essential for that to be taught in order for the student to understand that it's a lifelong practice, perhaps lives-long practice, as is taught, and it gives many tools for understanding things that we experience happening in our lives and in the world today. Ideas about karma and reincarnation are integral to the yoga philosophy, and these create a way to structure, a framework to look at the things we see occurring in the world today and understand that as a nation we may take actions that have repercussions. As individuals we do things, we say things, we think things, and those things that we say, think, or do will have repercussions. And understanding karma is an essential aspect of yoga.
Getting back to founding your own school, Jivamukti, did you do that then to bring all of these aspects together in one place as a response to the yoga that was being taught here in the West before? And for those who are unfamiliar with Jivamukti, describe what it is.
Well, the word Jivamukti means that the word Jiva means the individual soul. We experience ourselves as separate entities. Mukti means liberation. It means, the word implies that it
10 o'clock, time for class. Everyone find your seats. So glad you could all make it. And we're going to start by chanting Om and Shanti. That was an interview with David Life. And I always find it helpful to hear my teachers answer questions about yoga. All right, let's go. Om and Shanti. And if you have your Jivamukti chant book, we're going to turn to page 7 and we're going to look at number 40. It's real simple. Soham. I am that. The mantra that follows it's Aham Brahman Asmi. Asmi. Braham Asmi. Aham Braham Asmi. Which states that I am Brahman. So the idea with Soham is to kind of eliminate all the things that you think you are and realize that you are not those things. But then to realize that you are these things that are incredibly beautiful. So, Soham, I am that which is beautiful. Like you see like a beautiful blue sky and you go, Soham, I am that. And then there's also a Tat Twamasi. That is what I am. So we're going to play around with it, have some fun. Soham, 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 Soham. I am not my job, starting. I am not my job. My job is not me. I am not my job. My job is not me. Soham, 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 Soham. I am not this pandemic. This pandemic is not me. I am not this pandemic. This pandemic is not me. Soham, 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 Soham. I am not this mind. This mind is not me. I am not this mind. This mind to pick up where we left off on Thursday. We're going to revisit again from the Bhagavad Gita, the 6th verse, 29th sutra, which says, Sarva Bhutashtam Atmanam Sarva Bhutani Katmani Ikshate Yoga Yukta Atma Sarvatra Sama Darshana. Through the practice of yoga, the yogi sees the divine self in all beings at all times. So yesterday, in this pandemic, we're using every room of the house. 4 of us. Our condo is a 3-bedroom condominium. So it ends up that we each kind of take our room and we get work done there. We get our yoga practices, meditation done, our schoolwork for the children. And, it's important to keep the places clean. And yesterday I decided that I would clean the windows on the 2nd floor of our building here. So I'm a little higher up. And, it took about an hour. I really did a thorough job. I washed the insides of the windows. I washed the outsides of the windows. I dried them properly. And then I went and washed them a second time. And this morning, Amanda said, wow, look at how colorful and beautiful everything is out in our backyard. Look at how much clearer everything is. It's like it somehow cleaning the glass brought in more beauty. One of our cats, Buddy, was sitting in the window because outside the windows is this beautiful potted tree. It's this big orange holder for the tree, and when it's blooming, it has these beautiful purple flowers on it. But right now it's kind of bare, but there's a lot of hummingbirds that live in our backyard, and they sit in that tree a lot. So, the cats like to sit there and watch the birds. It's like bird TV, I always joke. But it's a metaphor, that we have this lens that we see life through, And what my yoga teachers have told me is that when we are doing the yoga practices, when we are learning to be in potentially stressful physical situations, right, through the asana practice, but we do it in a safe way, right? We do it in a safe place. That we are shining that mirror of who we really are. We're beginning to polish that view of the true self, right? And then we begin to see that we are these beautiful, spiritual, radiant beings, right? It's different from that kind of critical self that I wake up with sometimes, or that I find myself with when I'm in a stressful situation. It's the exact opposite of that, right? It's this one that's very light, it's very grounded, it's very open, and able to see the beauty in the things around me. So, in this chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, the 6th chapter, Krishna, who's the Lord, is instructing Arjuna, who is us, on how to handle this very stressful situation that Arjuna finds himself in. He said, I'm going to show you how to get through this by the teachings of yoga. I'm going to help you polish up this mirror so that you can see who you really are. And then what you're going to realize is that none of these outer circumstances have anything to do with who you are. And with that knowledge, you are going to find comfort. You're going to find stability. And you're going to realize that you are able to meet this moment exactly where you are, exactly with its condition. And you're going to be steady and joyful in that moment. The thing I love about Sharon and David is that for decades, they've been teaching us about yoga. They've been very clear in what yoga is used for. If you listen to any of the interview in the beginning of class that I was playing, it's more than just a physical practice. For me, I was introduced just to Jivamukti yoga. It was the first experience I had with yoga back in 1999. So I didn't know what to compare it to. It's all I knew. And what I was told in my very first class by Carol Foster, this beautiful, amazing teacher, it was a basics class, and she was meeting some of these students like myself that had never experienced yoga. And she said, this is a practice to open your heart up to God. And it like hit me right between the eyebrows because I thought it was a physical practice. I thought I was going to get a workout. I was going to become more flexible. But instead, she just offered me the truth right out of the gate. Yeah, yoga, union with the divine, union with the highest self. And then through the practices, I'm going to realize that. And that's going to inform how I see everyone else. I have to say, you know, this time, it's like this 3-day weekend, and they're opening up everything in, you know, staged ways around the country. And I don't want to be critical of others. I want to see others in their best possible way. And I want to think that everyone's making decisions that they think is best for them. You know, I want to be able to have this vision and see the highest in everyone. I don't want to get stuck in fear. I don't want to get stuck in critical judgment. I don't want to get stuck in kind of my lower nature. Instead, I want to elevate. I want to transform. So that's what we're going to use our practice for today. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. So some days, you know, this morning I was like, oh, it's Saturday. I don't feel like getting up. I don't want to teach. And you know what you do with those days? You just put it in a shopping bag and you bring it to work. You just show up to class. And now that I'm here and talking about yoga, I'm so happy to be here and I'm so glad that I made it to class. So chitta-vrittis are powerful, but we don't have to listen to them, right? You just watch them, observe them. Let's use our practice today to polish up this mirror so we can begin to see who we really are. Okay? So today we're going to start with a little warm-up, pre-warm-up. We're going to come into a downward facing dog to begin. So just take a moment and find yourself on your yoga mat. Again, just find your hands touching the earth. Find your feet on the floor. Make some adjustments. And then just hold and breathe. Look for a steady gaze place. Continue with your audible breath. One more breath. From here, we're going to walk the feet towards the front of the mat. You're going to set up for a standing forward bend. So feet about hip distance apart. You can place blocks under your hands. You can take hold of either elbow. Just make a decision how you want to be here. Try to find weight equally in your feet. Relax the neck. And just breathe the body, hold here. From here, we're going to move into a squatting position. Separate your feet about mat distance apart. You're going to bend your knees and lower your seat. You're going to try to lift the chest. If you want to sit on a block, so it's difficult to get your heels on the floor, sit on a block. It's a nice prop use. If you want to slide a blanket underneath your heels, that's an option as well. Wherever you find yourself, try to open the knees, try to lift the chest and lift your gaze. Stay here. Inhale and exhale. 5 breaths, you're going to come and sit down. We're going to take a teepee twist. So you're going to bring your knees together. Feet are on the floor, knees are bent. And take your left hand to the outside of the right knee. Place the right hand on the floor behind you. And just a gentle twist to begin. Inhale a breath. Exhale, take a twist, look over the shoulder for 1. We're going to come center, right hand to the outside of the left knee, left hand to the floor behind you. Inhale, draw the spine long, gentle twist, exhale, open to the left. We're going to come center. From here, you're going to straighten both legs. We're going to take a little bit deeper. You're going to take your left foot to the outside of the right knee. Oh, sorry, other way around. Straighten the left leg. Right foot to the outside of the left knee. Inhale the left arm up. Exhale, twist open to the right. You can use the knee to help bind, maybe get a little bit deeper into the pose. Inhale. Exhale, 1. You're going to come center, straighten the right leg, bend the left knee, bring the left foot to the outside of the right knee. Inhale the right arm up, exhale, twist to the left. Again, you could use elbow to knee to get a little bit deeper, create a bind. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist, breathing here. Inhale, come center. Counter twist a little bit to the other side if you'd like. From center again, straighten both legs. You know, one of the other things that Carol Foster said in that first class is that this practice was a vehicle to a spiritual experience, right? The physical body is a vehicle to experience something deeper within. All right, we're going to take tabletop next. Bend your knees. Bring your feet about hip distance apart in parallel. You're going to place your hands on the floor behind you, and on inhale, lift the hips up. And keep the gaze forward or drop the gaze behind. Hold and breathe here. And you're going to release down. From here, we're going to come and stand up. We're going to take a little stretching here. So you're going to interlace your hands above. You're going to stretch the arms overhead. Try to relax the shoulders as you reach up through the fingertips. We're going to inhale a breath here. Exhale over to the left side. Inhale, come center. Exhale, bend to the right side. Inhale, center. Exhale, bend to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, bend to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, bend to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, bend to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, bend to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, bend to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, bend to the left. And then you're going to come center, release the arms down. From here, we're going to interlace hands behind you. If it's hard to interlace hands, you have really tight shoulders, like maybe you have little kids you're picking up all day, that's a good way to tighten up the shoulders forever. You can grab a towel and use that as a way to help straighten the arms. My children are older now, so I'm not picking up anymore. My shoulders are slowly, over years, many years, opening up again. All right, so you're gonna move the hips forward, tuck the tailbone in, tuck the chin in, try to keep the shoulders and chest lifted as you lift the arms away from you. Hold and breathe here. Now you're going to release your arms. You're going to take your hands now. You're going to interlace your hands. You're going to bring them behind your skull. And on inhale, you're going to open the armpits and look up. Exhale a breath. Inhale, open up, look towards the ceiling. Exhale a breath. Inhale. Exhale, open a little bit further. Inhale, come center. You're going to exhale, bend your elbows and begin to roll down just a little bit. Inhale a breath. Exhale, lower down just a little bit further. Inhale. Exhale, lower elbows to middle of the chest. Inhale. Exhale, lower the elbows towards the navel. Inhale. Exhale, lower the elbows towards the mid-thigh. Inhale. Exhale, lower your elbows towards your knees. From here, you're going to bend the knees. You're going to open the armpits up, and as if you were skiing, you're going to lift the chest. Exhale a breath here. Inhale, come all the way up. Open the armpits, bend back. Exhale, come center. Hands to prayer. And just pause for a moment here. That's part of the Magic 10. We'll save our inversion for later in class. But just see if there's a difference in the mind and the body. Just close the eyes. Breathing in. And breathing out. Now, what yoga philosophy tells us is that the physical body is going to affect the mental body. The mental body is going to affect the emotional body. The emotional body is going to affect the bliss body. So we're using the different koshas, the different sheaths of the body, to help shine up that mirror of who we really are. So that beautiful radiant you, which sits in the center, is going to be revealed, and then you can inform how you see everything around you, those in front of you. People you thought that were in your way, you now see as the way. Right? All an opportunity for us to clean up our action, our words, our thoughts, our deeds, so that we can allow the light to shine through. All right, make a dedication of your practice. I don't know, I'm thinking about my mom again today, so I'm going to offer it up to her. Love and blessings to Jeannie, Maria. Hope she is finding her way now that she's left her body. I'm going to begin to breathe in and breathe out. Audible breath, ujjayi breathing, sounds like the ocean. On the exhale, we're going to release our arms down. We're going to inhale, lift the prayer overhead. You're going to exhale, fold forward, place your hands flat on the floor. Inhale, come to a flat back, look up. Exhale, step or jump back, slowly lower, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Hold and breathe here. I forgot to mention at the beginning of class, I have a Spotify channel that you can find through Nandi. And there's tons of music playlists that you can play during class, as I'm not allowed to play them right now. So include the music, it's there for you. Make the list for you to enjoy. Continue with your steady gaze and equal breath. breath here. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Step or jump between your hands, come to a flat back, look up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, come all the way up, lift the prayer overhead. Exhale, release your hands to prayer in front of your heart. And think of this idea of so hum. So today, after class, when you see something beautiful, I want you to say so hum, or say the English translation, I am that which is beautiful. That which I see in front of me, that is me. That is the reflection. That is the shining up of that mirror, so you can see that beautiful you, that you already are. On the exhale, release your arms down. From here, we're going to bend the knees deeply and lift the prayer up, Utkatasana. Awkward pose. Exhale, diving forward. Place your hands down. Inhale, come to a flat back. Look up. Exhale, step or jump back. Slowly lower. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot forward, left heel down. Lift the prayer overhead, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, place your hands down, step back, slowly lower, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot forward, right heel down. Lift the prayer overhead, Warrior 1. Exhale, place your hands down, step back, slowly lower, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Hold and breathe here. Spread the fingers wide, press the palm down. Heels reach towards the back of the mat. Find your gaze between your feet or towards your navel. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale a breath here. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Step or jump between your hands. Come to a flat back and look up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, bend your knees deeply. Lift the prayer up, Utkatasana. Exhale, straighten your legs, hands to prayer in front of your heart. And just close your eyes, pause in action. We practice being the witness, the one that's observing the body and mind. By being the one who's watching the body and mind, we realize we're something else, which is that soul, that higher self, that inner seer. Really important part of yoga to find that voice inside, that view inside. That's part of, but it's also separate of. On your exhale, release your arms down. Inhale, bend your knees deeply. Lift the prayer up, Utkatasana. Exhale, diving forward. Place your hands down. Inhale, come to a flat back. Look up. Exhale, step or jump back. Slowly lower. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Inhale, step your right foot forward. Turn your left heel down. Lift the prayer overhead, Warrior 1. We're going to hold here. So I always like to teach hands together in prayer. So you create a mudra with the hands. You're asking for something, you're lifting it up. Help me see myself the way I really am. Make any adjustments you'd like to make. Try to be moving forward. Back leg is strong. Soft gaze beyond the thumbs. Ujjayi breath. Inhale a breath here. Exhale, open the arms wide. Second warrior pose. Okay, so we're going to stay here. Take a moment. Keep that back leg strong. As you keep the strength in that back leg, think of it as an anchor. Bend the front knee a little bit more. Try to track the knee over the ankle. Bring the front thigh a little bit closer to parallel. And then as you reach out in both directions, relax the shoulders. Bring your gaze over the middle finger. Hold and breathe here. From Inhale, straighten the right leg. And exhale, rebend the right knee. We're going to bring right hand to the instep of the right foot. You can place a block here if that's helpful. And then you're going to push down to lift up, reach up through the left side. Hold and breathe here. Inhale. And then your next inhale, you're going to place your hands on either side of your front foot. You're going to begin to straighten the front leg. You can use blocks here on other sides of the feet if you need a little extra support. Inhale, look up. Exhale as you fold forward. Try to pull the right hip back. And then bring yourself over that extended front leg. Hold and breathe here. On your next inhale, you're going to bend the front knee. You're going to step back to downward facing dog. Now you have an option to stay here. Or inhale, roll forward, plank position. Exhale, lower, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back downward facing dog. Let's try the other side. Inhale, left foot forward, right heel down. Lift the prayer overhead. Virabhadrasana 1. I'm going to hold here. You can take any variation you like of this, really. Again, I teach hands together in prayer, so you create a mood, right? You're lifting the prayer up, so you're asking for something from the highest. Relax the shoulders, bring the gaze beyond the thumbs. Hold and breathe here. Inhale a breath here. Exhale, open the arms wide, second warrior pose. Again, just take a moment. Think of that back leg as your anchor. It's strong, it's stable, giving you the ability to bend the front knee a little bit more, tracking the knee over the ankle, bringing the front thigh a little bit closer to parallel, and then reaching out in both directions. Complete the pose, your gaze over the middle finger. Hold and breathe. Inhale, straighten the left leg. Exhale, rebend the left knee. Bring your left hand to the instep of the left foot. Again, place a block here if that's helpful. And then you're going to push down to lift up. Bring your gaze to the hand above. Hold and breathe here. From here, you're going to place your hands on either side of your front foot. Again, grab your props if that's helpful. You're going to straighten the left leg. Inhale, look up. Exhale, folding forward. And maybe like me, you have a tight hamstring this morning. Try to get beyond that. Try to find a pose that you feel supported in to let go. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. See if you can pull the left hip back a little bit more. Yeah, I might have a tight hamstring, but I am not this tight hamstring. Aham Brahmasmi. I am that, the highest. I am the highest self. One more breath. from here, you're going to step back, downward facing dog. And then everyone, let's inhale, roll forward to plank position. And then we're going to place the right hand directly underneath the right shoulder. If you want to bring your right knee to the floor for a little bit more stability, you could do that. And extend the left arm up. If your straight leg is on the bottom, right straight leg, flex the right foot, stack left flex foot on top of right. Inhale. Exhale, 1. If you're taking any advanced leg variations, come to that on your own. Inhale, place your left hand down, come through plank position. On your left hand, place it directly underneath the left shoulder. Come onto the outer edge of your left flex foot, stack right foot on top, extend the right arm up, or come onto your left knee for more stability. Everyone bring your gaze to the hand above. Inhale, place your hands down, plank position. Exhale, push back, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here, shake the head out. Flubber the lips. Let's come into child's pose just for a moment. Take them over here, forehead down. Seat to your heels. You know, if this is a difficult pose for you, maybe you have some trouble with the knees, you can always slide a blanket underneath the knees here and then keep the seat lifted a little bit higher with the support of that blanket. So just skillfully using the props in any position we find ourselves in. And this way we lessen the activity in the mind. Come to slower breathing, slowing the thoughts down. All right, we're going to come to Virasana Hero's Pose next. So for Hero's Pose, you want to bring your knees together. You want to separate the feet enough so that you could sit your seat down in between your feet, right? Now, I'm going to use a block this morning because my knees are kind of tight. They need a little extra support. So if you're sitting down and your knees are splaying way open, not so good. You'd rather have knees together and a seat that's comfortable between your feet. So maybe try using a prop like a block. You know, you could always remove it, you know, take it away if you don't need it. But find your seated pose. Relax the shoulders. So in yoga philosophy, there's the main energy channel. It's called Sushumna Nadi. It runs from the floor of the pelvis, goes up through the main energy centers to the crown of the head. Second to that is Ida and Pingala Nadi. Right? They're left to right, and what they do is they intersect through the main chakras, right? The main energy centers as they go down. You know, Ida is the feminine, Pingala is the masculine, and they say, you know, it's the opposite, sun and moon. And what we're doing is we're trying to, through the practices, bring balance to them. You know, so maybe the thing that we're misidentifying with, maybe for me being a male, I have too much male energy. And so I need the feminine energy to help balance, bring me into that center channel. So with that said, you know, and again, we're trying to wake up Kundalini. She is the serpent at the base of the spine. We're trying to get her interested to make that journey up to enlightenment. So with that said, we're going to take a little breathing practice. You're going to take your hand. You're going to bend your middle finger and your pointer finger into your palm. And we're going to do opposite nostril breathing, alternate nostril breathing. You're going to use your thumb as a way to close off the right side. You're going to use your ring finger as a way to close off the left. Let's inhale through both nostrils. And you're going to close off the right, exhale through the left, 2, 3, 4. Inhale through the left, 2, 3, 4. You're going to block off left, exhale through the right, 2, 3, 4. Inhale through the right, 2, 3, 4. Block right, switch left, exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Switch right, exhale through the right, 2, 3, 4. Inhale right, 2, 3, 4. Switch left, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Switch right, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Switch left, exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale left, 2, 3, 4. Switch right, exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale right, 2, 3, 4. Switch left, exhale, 2, 3, 4. From here, you're just going to release your hand into your lap and come to normal breathing. So sometimes after pranayama practice, it's good to close the eyes and just witness what controlling the breath, directing the prana, moving energy through the body in a specific way. All in support to shining that mirror, to helping reveal who you really are, right? That steady, joyful, grounded, full of light, full of love, you. When we can identify that in ourselves, it's really a lot easier to begin to identify that in others. And then we get that idea from the 6th book, 29th Sutra, that I see God in everything. Right? I see the highest potential in everyone. I see the best part of everyone. Instead of looking for ways to be different, to say how I'm better than or lesser than, I begin to see what's exactly the same. Wow, it's a very powerful teaching if you can get your brain around it, right? Maybe get your heart around it. So others aren't in our way, they are the way. All right, from here we're going to take a little twist. We're going to just be in this knee position a little bit longer. Don't worry, we're going to come out of it very gently. You're going to take your left hand to the right knee. You're going to bring your right hand to the floor behind you, or you could reach around for the inner left hip crease. Inhale, exhale, twist for 1. Inhale, center. Bring now the right hand to the left knee, left hand to the floor behind you, or reach around for your inner left hip crease. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist for 1. Inhale, come center. From here, you're going to come forward on the hands and knees. Just take it very slow. The knees are going to have new blood flow coming through the knees. They're going to feel a little tight. Just give them a moment here to kind of feel that new prana, life force moving through them. We're going to bend keep the left knee bent. You're going to straighten the right leg. Keep the toes tucked under on the floor and just push the heel away. And just take a couple of breaths here, opening up the back of the right leg. And you're going to exhale, release the right knee down. You're going to bend, straighten the left leg, tuck the left toes under. Push the heel away as you open up the back of the left leg. Take a few breaths here. And then release the left knee down. And then we're going to tuck the toes under, come into our downward facing dog. It's very sweet. I had a question from a childhood friend of mine, Laura Rodriguez in Cambridge, Mass. And she's been very sweet. She's always liking the yoga classes and I think passing them on to her people, which is really amazing. But she asked me yesterday, she says, can a brand new beginner do these classes? And I told her my experience with beginner students is some of them will come and they'll actually be okay. They'll find the practice enjoyable, and they'll be able to do a lot of the poses because they're already kind of athletic and physical. And then some other students will come who are not very physical, and they'll do their best. And you know what? I always give the instruction to come into child's pose. Take the poses that you're able to do, and don't feel like you have to keep pace or keep up with the more advanced students. Just do your best. And through time, through a long, slow, steady practice, you will find that this practice is for everyone, right? So don't feel like you are not advanced enough or you don't have enough experience. You're going to do what you can. There's the visual of the practice. Inhale a breath here. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward, step or jump between your hands. Come to a flat back, look up. Exhale, folding forward. And then inhale, bend the knees, deeply lift the prayer up. Straighten your legs, hands to prayer. So thanks for the question, Laura. And we're just going to pause here for a moment, close the eyes, breathing in and breathing out. Right, the practices are just here to reveal what's already there, whether we're brand new to the practice or we've been practicing for a long time. It's not so much about the physical practice, not so much about the physical seats that we take. It's more about what they are bringing us to. And that's a sense of that highest self. So just pausing here, close the eyes, take a breath, breathing in and breathing out. All right, on your next inhale, you're going to step or jump wide to your right. You're going to turn your right toes towards the right side, left toes in. Inhale the arms to shoulder height. Exhale, reach forward and down for triangle pose. And place your right hand down as you extend the left arm up. Then take a moment here. Try to maybe lift the right hand up so you're not putting too much weight in that hand. You really want the pose to come from the strength in the legs and the navel. And then lightly place the right hand down and extend the left arm up. Inhale. Your next inhale, you're going to come up. You're just going to change position of the feet. Left toes forward, right toes in. Inhale, reach as far to the left side as you can. Bend at the left hip. Again, think of the weight in the legs, strength in the legs and navel. Lightly place the left hand down. Extend the right arm up. Breathing here. Inhale. Here you're going to step or jump to the front of the mat. The other thing I would tell Laura is that, I give lots of options in my classes. So I start with the most basic part of the pose, and then I give more advanced options from there. So trying to make it all levels for everyone. All right, from here we're just going to not really do a fancy transition. We're just going to come down and we're going to set up for handstand practice. So this is a good example, a little more advanced, but we're just going to take it one adjustment at a time. So first we're just going to come into our downward facing dog, okay? And if you're really new, maybe you stay here. You want to take a step further, you lift the right leg up and you experience the weight equally in both hands and in that back heel. Coming towards your handstand, stay here. You want to take it a step further, step your left foot in a little bit closer so you can bend the knee. You're going to practice just bending the knee, hopping a little bit of weight into the hands. Okay. If you have a wall available, you could use a wall. If you want to come into the full pose, you could try to kick up and find your balance. Right? Five breaths here, wherever you are. After 5 breaths, come down, rest in child's pose, and let go of whatever you found. Right? The physical postures are just Physical seats are just a vehicle to experience the self. No more, no less. Let's try one more time. Come into your downward facing dog. You can stay here. If you want to lift the opposite leg up, lift the leg up, a left leg this time. Stay here for your handstand practice. If you want to bend the right knee, practice hopping some weight equal into the hands, you could do that. Or maybe come all the way up into your balance. Right? Now I want the wall to support me. 5 breaths here, wherever you are. And after your 5th breath, come down. Rest in child's pose. Again, just let go. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. All right, from here, let's just sit to the side of the heels and bring the legs forward. Setting up for a forward seated bend. Come onto the front of your sit bones. You can inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, walk the hands forward. Whatever you can grab hold of. Grab hold of shins. You could use a towel or a strap here. I'm going to take hold of the outer edges of my feet. Inhale, look up. Exhale, folding forward. And your next inhale, come up. From here, we're going to come into Jivamukti. And you have your choice of A or B today. So we're all going to bend the right knee to the chest. Going to release the right knee out to the side. For A, Jivamukti, you're going to place the right foot to the inner left thigh. For B, you're going to lift up. You're going to sit on the heel as a way to stimulate Mula Bandha, right at the perineum. It's a way to lift that internal energy up. Inhale a breath. Exhale. Take hold of something here. Hold and breathe. On your inhale, come up. If you're in B, you're going to lift off the heel. You're going to bring the right knee into your chest, everyone. Straighten the right leg. And then we'll try the other side. Bend your left knee in. Release the left knee out to the side. For Jivamukti A, just bring the foot to the inner right thigh. And for B, you're going to lift up. You're going to sit on the heel as a way to stimulate the perineum, where Mula Bandha is, the root lock. It's where Kundalini is. We want to awaken her by lifting in and up. Inhale a breath. Exhale, walk the hands forward. Hold and breathe here. On your next inhale, you're going to lift up. Come off of the heel, bring your left knee into your chest, bring your right knee to meet your left, and you're going to open the feet up. We're going to take Tara Asana, which is a rounded forward bend. Just bring the feet forward so you create a diamond shape in the legs. You're going to take hold of your feet, inhale, look up. Exhale, begin to round the back forward, holding here. Breathe in and breathe out. Hum, so 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 hum. Your next inhale, come up. From here, we're going to set up for our back bending. So you're going to bend your knees. Actually, let's do this. Let's bend the knees. Feet are about hip distance apart. We'll take a second tabletop. Fingers facing forward. On inhale, lift the hips up. Keep the gaze forward or drop the gaze behind. After your fifth breath, come down. From here, you're going to bend the knees, cross the ankles. We're going to inhale, lift up. We're going to step, walk, or jump back and lower down through Chaturanga. The only way you're going to lift up if you're lifting the whole body off the floor is with Mula Bandha. Upward facing dog, exhale back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward to plank position. From here, we're going to lower all the way down through push-up position to the floor. And we're going to set up for Shalabhasana. All right, so forehead down, arms alongside the body. On inhale, lift your head, chest, straight legs off the floor, come up. Exhale, release down, turn your face to one side. Relax and let go. So whatever was going on in my mind this morning when I woke up, I've been completely transformed. I can't even remember what I was thinking about. My experience has been if you just bring yourself to practice, you'll always be better for it. If you bring yourself to practice, you will be a gift that everyone else can enjoy, right? The best thing I could give to anybody in my family is to show up to my yoga practice. Because I get a better sense of who I am, and then that helps me in my actions. Forehead down, bend your knees. Dhanurasana bow pose. On inhale, lift your head, chest, knees off the floor. Come up. Exhale, release down, turn your face to the opposite side, relax, and let go. Feel the earth beneath you, holding you and supporting you. You know, this weekend I'm going to take care of myself, I'm going to take care of my actions, and I'm not going to worry about others. I'm going to let them do what they think's best for them, and I'm going to try to see the best possible version of them as I look out into the world. Bend the knees, cross, take hold of the outside of either ankle. On inhale, lift your head, chest, knees off the floor, come up. From here, you're going to exhale, release down. You're going to turn over onto your back. Oh, good. We're doing good. Good with time. All right, so we're going to set up for our half wheel pose. You're going to bend your knees, draw your heels close and towards your seat. If you want to take a supportive half wheel, I see a lot of the more beginner students do this at this point, and they just kind of hang it on the block the whole rest of the back bending sequence. So it's an option, you know? Inhale, lowering, lifting up your lower, middle, upper back off the floor. If you're using the block, try to slide it the longest side down so you're still able to lift the hips up with support. If you want to interlace hands here underneath you and draw the arms long, move from shoulder to shoulder, get a little higher up on the base, the shoulder blades. If you could do that. And then breathe, audible breath. Hear the sound of the breathing. The great thing about our yoga practices is if we do show up for it every day, we create this new groove in our life, right? This new samskara, this new action. So it becomes like something like brushing your teeth. You don't think about it, you just do it, you know? So it's like you get up, you're like, oh, it's time for practice. I'm going to sit and meditate. Oh, it's time for asana. I'm going to go do my asana practice. Oh, it's time to be a selfless servant to others, be one that is there to help. And it just becomes a new habit, a good habit. So whatever's going on with the mind, you just bring the mind with you. Okay, mind, you're having a hard time, you're struggling today. Let's go to practice and see what happens. Or if you're on the block, you can stay here, like I said. If you want to come down, release down onto your back, release your hands, take a breath here. Let's do this today. I want you to bring your hands to prayer in front of your heart. And I want you to think of a beautiful place that you've been to in your life. When I was younger, I used to go to the Caribbean. The water there was so beautiful. To be in that water, it was so warm. The sky was so expansive, so beautiful. That was me. That beautiful ocean, that was me. Half wheel on your own. Full wheel, hands alongside the ears. Push into your hands and feet. Come up into that memory of who you are. Inhale. 5 breaths. And then come down. Take a breath here. Let's bring the hands to prayer right between the eyebrows. I want you to think of an additional place that you were struck with its beauty. I'm going to think of more locally going up to Ferndale, and you were just near Eureka in upstate California. And we went up there in the wintertime. It was so lush and green and beautiful. Went to Land's End, I think, what they call it? It was just this place, this trail that was like the end of the world. It was so beautiful. So I'm going to come to that. So I remember that beautiful place. That was me. I am that. Half wheel on your own. Full wheel. Come up. Hands to prayer on the crown of the head. I want you to think of the most spiritual moment you've had in your life. To me, it's very personal. I don't like to share about it too much, but when I was at the ashram in New York, and I experienced the highest in the meditation room of the teacher. Blew my mind and my heart wide open, and I had that divine vision for a couple of days. Very powerful. So what that spiritual moment was for you, you gotta remember that was you. You were that. Come up. Five to 8 breaths here. Once you've come down, you're going to draw your knees into your chest. That's a way to bring the spine in back to a neutral place. You can rock from side to side. But always think of it as a way to bring some protection in, right? You've just made yourself incredibly physically vulnerable, opening up the front of the body. Now you're just bringing the knees in to help protect that vulnerability. So I got a text yesterday from our friend, our fellow student, Robbie Klein, that left her body just about a year ago from cancer. And Elizabeth, her best friend in the Chicago area, just reached out to me in a text, I think because we're getting closer to the death date. And she had very sweet and kind words for me, and kind of caught me off guard, and I realized that I need to respond today, but I had to take a pause so I could think of what I wanted to really say back. And what I realized, I didn't want to text, I want to call. I want to make a phone call, a little more personable. So I'm going to call her today. All right, just take a twist from here. You're going to keep your knees high in towards the chest. Exhale your knees over to the left, and then bring your gaze over to the right side. I was already planning a special kind of in memory of class for her when we get closer to the date, which is coming. And I'm going to include my daughter Gloria in it because she made something for Robbie a year ago. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. Bring your knees center. Exhale your knees over to the right side as you bring your gaze to the left. I was just remembering that Elizabeth took Robbie's dog Ralphie, right? He was such a big part of that journey. And I bet he's really doing well with Elizabeth and her children and her husband. Makes me happy to think of Ralphie. Inhale, come center. Wrap your arms around your knees, give them a squeeze in. Let's rock up to a seated position. We're going to set up for shoulder stand. If you want to bring your seat close to a wall, or bring your seat close up to the side of the sofa, and just drape the legs over the sofa, you could do that. If you use padding, set up some padding. We're going to come through Halasana. Place your hands on your back and extend the legs up. You don't want any discomfort in your neck in this pose. You want to try to keep some space around the throat. So if you come up and your neck hurts, come down, set up a flat piece of padding underneath the shoulders so that your head and neck are off of the padding. The padding's giving support to the shoulders so there's space for the neck. And then lift the legs up. If it's difficult to keep the legs lifted, wrap one leg around the other. Squeeze the legs together as a way to assist you to lift up. So inhale a breath here. Exhale, begin to lower the feet overhead, coming to Halasana. If your feet don't reach the floor, just keep your hands on your back, knees to your forehead. If your feet do reach the floor, interlace your hands, draw your arms long in one direction. Usually push the heels in the opposite direction. From here, you're going to release the hands. You're going to begin to slowly roll down onto your back. And then we're going to bring the feet into prayer, bend the knees, feet are together, counter pose for our shoulder stand, reclining goddess pose. We're going to do a little chakra tuning exercise. You're going to rub the hands together, create some heat. Just place both hands on the heart. And take one hand, bring it onto the forehead. So part of shining up that mirror is to begin to inform ourselves of the love that we have deep inside of us. Right? It's infectious, this love. That language of love that instructs our actions. It tells us in our mind how we should be out there in the world. When we take a misstep and we are unkind, our mind and our heart remind us. Maybe it's time to go in there and to repair that misstep and tell the person that we're sorry. We didn't mean what we said, or maybe that our action was selfish. It's pretty powerful when we can have ownership of our actions, good and bad. And that's how we begin to shine that mirror of the self. Bring both hands now into the crown of the head. This is Sahasrara Chakra, the 1,000-petal lotus. And this is where we experience that enlightened self. We have many moments, many enlightenments through this lifetime. Spring fever, falling in love. Again, yoga says that it's not the person or the season that made us feel that. It was just a reflection that we caught of our true self. From here, we're going to take our hands to the outsides of your knees, gently bring the knees together, and then straighten the legs. Try to spread out completely here. Palms turned up. Think of placing your body in a gesture of surrender. If you're having any feelings in the lower back, you need a little support, roll up a blanket or take a big cushion and put it underneath the knees. The thought I always have in Shavasana is, why wouldn't I show up for this practice? For how good I feel right now, why would I miss this even one day? Relax and let go. You're going to begin to lengthen your next inhale. Begin to move your fingers and toes, bringing consciousness back into your body. When you're ready, you're going to find yourself in an upright seated position. Do it slowly, take your time. Bringing your hands to prayer in front of your heart. We give thanks to all of our teachers, especially that inner guiding teacher, the Sadguru. Bowing forward, Om Bolo, Sadguru, Bhagavan Ki, Jai. Hari Om Tat Sat. Inhaling to come up. Nice to see all of you. Thanks to David for instructing us in the beginning of class through his recording. 20 minutes meditation. And if you want to reach out to me, you can find me on social media. I'd love to hear from you. And everyone have a blessed day, and we'll be seeing each other real soon. Namaste.